Balitang Express!
Senador Gordon bumwelta sa mga komite ng Enerhiya. Alamin ang buong detalye sa video ito.
Can I reiterate that? Maybe the question that we should ask is, how fast do we respond? NGCP has been responding as fast. We have 22 calamities every year. We have proven ourselves that we have worked hard and having electricity for the grid. And on the cyber attack, for the past few weeks that we're here, we've been attacked 100 times already. So as we speak, we don't know. It's from the outside. We've seen our net. So that's why this is very crucial. This is very critical.
You should inform your principals, particularly Transco and ERC and the government. We're just telling us that now that you're being attacked.
Yes,
now
it's a detection, Mr. Senator.
No, you said attack.
Yes, it's a detection.
These are big words. So you say you're
sorry,
being attacked.
Detection. So what I'm saying is, it's how we respond as fast where we are.
That is the point here, Mr. Almeida. You're being attacked or slash
Detected.
attack or undetected, but these are things that government should know. Dapat malaman namin to because una-una saan nang gagaling. Pangalawa, bakit? Ba't kayo lang nakakaalam niyan eh?
It's all over naman, whether it's banks, whether it's
yeah, but no, we're not talking about banks. We're talking about the national grid of the country.
Yes, that's why what I'm saying.
And now you've disclosed to us that there are 100 attacks.
As we speak now, there'll be attempts.
Yeah, but government needs to know that. That's what our point.
Mr. Chairman, the gentleman, Mr. Almeida, teaches us to ask the proper questions. Is that your premise here, that you're teaching us to ask you the right questions?
No, Senator.
We're asking you the right questions here. You use the word attack, and I bristled at it. You're being attacked, then we must know. Your principals must know. And then you come out with another question. It happens every day. Banks are being attacked. Then we should know also, don't you think so? And that's why the issue here is that they keep asking you, para kang tenant ng bahay na pinaupa sa inyo eh. Ayaw niyong papasukin yung mag-i-inspeksyon, baka naglagay ka na dyan ng makakasunog, makakadisgrasya, ayaw mong papasukin. Papasukin, anong tinatago niyo? Siyempre, pag nagtanong sila, sino ba nagpapatakbo dyan? May Russians na ba dyan? Meron na bang mga Chinese naman na dyan? Ang dinig namin, 40%, marami kayong engineers. Ang dinig namin, ang instructions dun sa makina niyan ay panay Chinese. Ang dinig namin, yung NARIC, yun ang NARI, no? Yun ang umaabot sa labas ng China. Pwede lang patayin ang grid natin from China. Is that correct?
No.
They cannot do that.
They cannot do that.
Are you sure?
Well, as far
Why
as
is it there then?
As far as
Why is it there then? Answer the question. If you're operating here, I would be uncomfortable allowing a foreign entity to have a connection here.
There's no connection, Senator.
There's no connection?
No,
What is NARI then? Can you explain to us what NARI is? Role is? NARI ba yun? Or NARIC or NARI? NARI. NARI an explanation.
It's
The
a
technical guy who he knows it. Sir Wally.
Mr. Del Mundo of the world.
Good morning po. Yung pong NARI system, yung po yung ating control system na kung ililemanize po natin, ito po yung ginagamit na computer control na pwede pong mag-switch on, mag-switch off ng mga circuit breaker ng
Just a
power
moment.
plants.
Let me digest that. Pwede mag-switch on,
Switch
mag-switch off. What does that mean? Can they
Ibig
kill the
sabihin po,
grid?
ibig sabihin,
No, be very clear.
po,
Don't be fast. Can they kill the grid from China?
remotely po, so kahit saan pong lugar, ito
Yeah,
pwede po
question is
tayong...
answered by a simple question, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, all right, okay. Go ahead.
So, gumagamit po kasi ito ng communication system. Sa loob po ng NGCP, yung fiber optics po ang ginagamit natin para makontrol ang lahat ng power plant at lahat ng substation. Pwede tayong shutdown, pwede tayong mag-start, mag-off. Ngayon po, connected din po ito sa computer, sa internet, at yun po yung tinatawag nating, kaya po tayo pwedeng maging vulnerable, pwede po tayo mapasukan galing sa labas dahil may connection po tayo sa internet.
The next question is,
Opo.
can you restart it? If they turn it off, can you restart it here?
Opo.
You can?
Opo.
Ah,
Kung
sige.
nagkaroon na po ng control ang isang hacker, for example, kung na-hack na po yung system, napasukan na po yung SCADA system natin, so, at yun po ang exactly nangyari doon sa Ukraine noong 2015. Yung pong system operator na nasa control center, hindi po sila makatrabaho kasi yung mismong computer gumagana mag-isa, sa labas po ang nagpapatakbo.
Sa labas sa China, you mean?
Ang hinala po sa Ukraine ay Russia po ang nag-operate. Nag-shutdown po yun ng
Are you aware of that in Transco, Department of Energy? That there are other sources, that there are other entities that can harm the system, that you need to fix the system, you need them, there's dependency? Are you aware of that?
Mr. Chair, that's precisely the reason why we want to conduct an audit. So that
No,
we-
answer the question first.
Yes, we are aware.
You're aware.
That is
and you're
happening.
concerned. Are you concerned?
Very much
What could be
concerned.
the possible problem kung meron ganon?
Kawalan po tayo ng kuryente, they can switch off the power. grid.
Hahanapin niyo pa kung sino nagpatay.
Ganun po ang mangyayari. We have to do manual.
Answer my question. I know you're a lawyer.
Yes, sir.
Hahanapin niyo ba pag may namatay? Anong cause na namatay? Si China ba? Si Russia ba?
Mahirap po talagang hanapin. Kagaya po nitong sa Ukraine, hanggang ngayon, hindi pa nga nalaman kung sino talaga, although they suspect it's Russia.
You're talking about the cyber attack.
Sa Ukraine po.
But I'm talking about a simple case na namatay yung kuryente. Dapat alam mo kung siya ka namatay.
Tama po. Dapat po nalalaman po ng systems operator, which is NGC.
And do you consider that a vulnerability, Mr. Suskusi?
That's why we are trying to
I know you're trying to have an audit
No.
and I'm with you.
but the vulnerability is always there.
Yeah.
The threat is always there.
And you don't
we
have to
must
add to it.
And we must have the defenses in place.
That's correct.
That's what is important. And that's why we want to have an audit is to determine if we have the right defensive mechanism to protect our system.
That's correct. And
now-
your principal objective is to protect the country from a
Yes.
situation where we will be totally dependent or totally without control. Wala tayong control. Pag namatay, yan ang sistema nyo. Yun ang rule ninyo. Is that correct?
Yes. That's
Yan
why
ang rule ng
pag
Transco, correct? Yan ang rule ng Energy Regulatory Board, correct? Commission, right? Yun. Why don't you want to be audited then? Why does it take a lot of things? And why do you put firewalls like injunctions, restraining orders? Why? Are you hiding something?
No, Mr. Senator.
Bakit ganon? You should be working together, right?
Yes.
That's correct, Mr. Chairman. We should be working together to protect the interests of the
And
country.
do you think, in your experience, these people have been working with you well?
Well, I will say that the opposite, Mr.
No,
Chairman.
it's a simple yes or no. Don't.
No.
You're from Lasal. Don't perorate here. I can detect you. See? All right. Yes or no?
No.
No. What about you, Melvin?
No, Mr. Senator.
What about
Actually,
you,
they built a Chinese
Agnes?
wall behind the government and NGC.
So talagang hindi maganda relasyon.
Don't know if there's any
Ano, I
relationship.
don't
at
know.
all.
Yes or no?
No, there's no relationship na maganda.
Sige, tanayo ka naman. Marunong ka ng English, di ba?
Yes, sir.
Sige. So no. Talis na nga. Katabi mo, kinakansyokan ka pa, bakit ayaw nyo magkaroon ng magandang relasyon? Anong tinatago nyo?
We're trying to have a good relationship lagi.
Lying.
Yeah, the reason why we're here is,
No, the reason you're here is you've been called.
yes, Senator.
What planet do you come from? You have been called here to explain what is going on. All right? And that's why we have to come up here and ask you questions.
Mr. Chair, may I be allowed to?
It's Attorney Concepcion.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Madam Senator, Mr. Senator. Like what Mr. Almeida said earlier, we are not actually against the audit. What we are... Sorry, sir? No, sir. What I
Actually,
meant...
be careful when you say something here, Mr. Chairman. They say we're not actually. What is it? A little only? A
We're not
little
against.
more? What?
We're not against the audit, Mr.
You're not
Senator.
against the audit. All right.
What we want to make clear is that there are certain parameters for different kinds of audit. Even before the concession agreement was drawn up by the government and NGCP, ERC has been given the power to audit, to oversee, to monitor, and to look into the operations of all stakeholders in the power industry, including NGCP and Transco and all the generation companies. When the concession agreement was drawn up, there were certain limitations to what Transco can do and look into. That is why when it was presented by the good chairman, the power of Transco to inspect the books and the facilities of the National Grid Corporation is limited to those activities which are outside the purview of the ERC's jurisdiction. And one of ERC's jurisdiction is to monitor compliance with the Philippine Grid Code. And the Philippine Grid Code dictates grid operations, standards, and parameters. That is where we're coming from, good committee. So what we're saying is that we are going to agree to an audit if the ERC will conduct it. And in fact, they have also admitted that there has been an issuance by ERC for the conduct of that audit. Only that it did not push through. So we're making that distinction, Mr. Chair and Senators.
Mr. Chair.
Chairman,
Before we continue, let me acknowledge presence of Senator Pimentel.
Chairman, I noticed a tremendous groan from the side of the government when he said that the government is limited to certain things. The government gave you this, and part of the consideration for this, and part of your consideration is that dapat this is an entity, an operation that is fraught with national concerns. Security among them the proper use of the line so that the economy would prosper. Would you say that's correct?
I agree, Mr. Chair.
So you're not going to limit them if they think that you're not fulfilling that role?
Mr. Chair, jurisdiction is conferred by law. And we are...
No. You're not in
The
court
ERC's
right now.
jurisdiction.
There is a paramount interest on the part of the government to protect the interests of the country. You mean to tell me I have to go to court to get into you?
No, Mr. Chair. That is
Pinagbili
why...
nyo na sa China, pinagbili nyo na sa Russia.
No, Mr.
Hindi
Chair.
kami makakapasok.
That is not the insinuation. In
Oh,
fact,
that
we have
is
worked
that
with...
is the thing that we're getting here.
No, we have in fact worked with the National
Let me hear what
Security Council.
I'm sorry, another check. Sorry, force of habit. Can we hear, Mr. Chairman, can we hear the side of...
Yeah. Go ahead, Sen.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Let me just simplify it. Kasi ilang beses na yata pinost dun sa screen yung Section 703. And ilang beses nang sinabi ni Senator Gatchalian na dito, performance, examination. But that is a beautiful interpretation of the concession agreement. Of course, if you're the one interpreting it on your side, I will say the same. But sabi ko nga kanina dito, the issue is not about NGCP or Transco. The issue is the public. The issue is the future of our children. Kasi, I don't agree. I don't subscribe to that na limited.
I have a question, Mr. Chairman. One last question, just follow up. Just a brief interlude here. Still on point. You are the Assistant Corporate Secretary, right? You have a President and CEO of NGCP, Attorney Anthony Almeida. For the last few minutes, you've been answering for him.
He's not a lawyer.
Why? Do you have to be a lawyer? I mean,
Sir, you
any
mentioned...
Filipino can speak here.
No, sorry, sir. You mentioned Attorney Anthony Almeida. He's not a lawyer.
No, I mean, because he acts like a lawyer. See? Let me just ask you a simple question. I have here a document that says... I ask those questions because it's pertinent to what I'm about to ask you. Contract for the Luzon substation expansion projects And I'd like to share this with my confreres here. Another one for the replacement project. I'm sure, you know, Senator Sherwin is a very diligent senator. He does his homework. And I'm happy that he's the chair here. But it says here, when the agreement is signed, ang nakalagay dito, Xi'an Electric Engineering Company Limited and Xi'an Electric Engineering Company Limited Philippines Branch Contractor by Zhu Xiaoan. You know him? Country manager. And then, nakalagay dito, National Grid Corporation of the Philippines. National Grid Corporation of the Philippines by Wenbo, Chief Technical Officer. And then, it only says, signed in the presence of Anthony Almeida. That's why I ask you, why you're asking. He is the CEO. And yet, it is only signed in the presence of Anthony Almeida. As a lawyer, parang umiiwas puso yan. Nandyan lang ako. Iba pumipirma. Foreigner ang pumipirma. And then, when you look at the final agreement, ang nakalagay pa rin, same personalities, and Mr. Almeida signs only signed in the presence of. Is that a cop-out? Is the president of the National Grid Corporation copying out here? I'll show you. When nakalagay dito after the contracts, nakalagay lahat siya na National Grid Corporation of the Philippines by Wenbo. Xi'an Electric Company, Electric Engineering by Zhu Xiaoan. Signed in the presence of Anthony Almeida, Chief Administrative Officer. There's something wrong with that. Huh? He was not the president then. Oh, why, nakalagay nga, Chief Admin Officer. Who is the president then? '11, 8th day of December. Is it Big Boy? Huh?
Henry C. Jr.
Henry C. Jr. Why is he not signing here? These are major contracts.
The kind indulgence of Senator Gordon, I would like to lay the premise first.
I would like to, as a lawyer, I'd like to know why. Simple question. Why? You don't want to be audited. When you make contracts, walang Pilipino. Ang isa sa mga charges na napag-aralan namin dito, halos meron kayong switch dun sa China, sa NARI. In other words, lahat ng lumalabas sa pinag-aralan namin, parang ang nagpapatakbo yung 40% ang Chinese. Yung 60% ng Pilipino, wala. Lahat na pumipila sa kontrata. Ito pa. Alright? Hindi ako I'm not picking on you. I just want to be sure. You know, I was one who investigated, as Jun Esperano will tell you, in CTE. The Chinese can play a very powerful violin. Galing magbili niya mga yan. And of course, kung di tayo marunong mag-ingat sa national interest ng Pilipinas, lalamunin tayo yan. And as I can see, parang wala na kayong say eh. Saling cut na lang kayo. Would you blame me could you blame us if we say that? You know, and then, pièce de resistance. Gusto nila mag-inspeksyon, umiiwas kayo sa lahat. Anong tinatago ninyo? Anong iniiwasan ninyo? I can see you nodding, Anthony. What is the answer?
I'd check on the documents that you have.
Yeah, you
And
signed
for-
it, admin
yes,
officer.
Yes, as
In the
admin
presence
officer.
lang, ha?
Yes, but I can assure this committee that it is the Filipino that runs the national group. And if ever Mr. Wenbo signed on that document, and I'd like to see it, he was able to get a permit from the DOJ to work here as consultant
No,
or
it
advisor.
doesn't matter to
But
me.
I can reiterate here that us Filipinos are the one in charge of operating. I am from the very start, from
That is a
2009
legitimate
up to
question,
now.
don't you think, that
Yeah.
the Department of Energy, Transco, and all the other government entities should ask you a question
Yes.
on how you're running the corporation. That's why they're asking, you're limiting audit to a very limited highway. It's a wide highway.
Yes.
Dapat tinitingnan nyo, nagagawa nyo ba yung pangako nyo na magta-transmit kayo sa lahat? Nabibigyan pa pagkakataon yung mga negosyong kakabit sa inyo. Kasama yan, di ba? The concession agreement. Dapat tinaalam natin, nakakakuha ba ng opportunity yung mga Pilipino? Natututuhan ba natin magpatakbo yan o ba talaga magiging palaasa tayo? At kung magkaroon na sisyan, wala na sila rito. Ang sisisihin kayo. I'm just protecting you. Thank you. You're welcome.
At yan ang ating balita. Maraming salamat sa inyong pagsubaybay. Ito ang Balitang Express.